Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys how to hit a platform, and this is going to be the basic technique you use whether you're spalling out a big piece of rock or trying to put fine flakes on a smaller point that's almost finished. And so when I say hit a platform, we're talking about something like this right here. So it's going to be a lower spot that you can strike. When I say lower, it's going to be below the center line. So here's your center line right here, kind of the center of the rock. This is below it. So when you strike this line, the flake is going to follow this ridge, and it should take out a flake right here. Before you hit it, you want to abrade that edge to make sure it's not too sharp so it doesn't crumble. You want dull edges when you're knapping. Sharp edges are only good for the finished product. You're going to support that piece right there. You're going to strike it right there. So you're not just hitting it, but you're hitting in. Okay. So there you can see it's a pretty good strike right on that platform. It took that flake off almost perfect to where I drew it. So your next step is going to be to find a new platform to hit. And sometimes when you get these big square edges here, the best way to hit those or to take those off is going to be from the side. And so if you look at it like this, there's your center line. This right here is a platform. Just take these sharp edges off so it doesn't crumble on you and crush. We're going to try to strike that right there. And that's a little bit of a tighter spot to hit. Getting in there, you might hit the side, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay. It'll show you the importance of hitting your mark. Didn't set that one up perfect, but it still wasn't a bad removal. So this one's got some fracturing in there that I didn't see before. You can see the discoloration, the stain. That's from iron oxide that was in the crack that was already existent in the rock. So if you get a lot of that, it'll ruin your piece. But I think there's enough good stuff here that I can knock that out and get around it. Since I got that big step there where that crack is, I'm going to try to knock this off and create a platform going that way. So what I was doing there was trying to stiffen up this edge to make it a little bit tougher, because I'm going to try to strike right here and try to take off a flake going this direction. There you go. So now I should be able to come back and strike this way again to take this side off. I'm going to raise that edge a little bit. What I mean by raise the edge is take this edge here where it's sitting pretty close to center line, and I'm going to try to move the edge up to right here. My marker's kind of dying on me, but I'm going to raise it by just knocking some rock off of it, just like that. Now I can come in here and hit it from this side. Before I hit this one though, I'm going to hit this one that direction to try to get this out of my way, because if I strike here, I might miss and hit that. Not quite as good as I wanted, but I got a lot of that out of my way. Okay. So I struck right here. Was able to take all of that. So essentially I'm just zigzagging back and forth along this edge. And these would make nice arrowheads. You can really turn these into a killer point. So I saved those. When I strike it like that, I'm not trying to drive a flake across. I'm just trying to drive it straight down and essentially raise this edge up higher so that I can turn it over and strike it and send this one down. But if I were to strike this right now, strike it right here, that platform is way too solid. They're gonna break this thing in half. So what we need to do is keep raising this edge up and make that platform a little bit weaker. Okay. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but the edge of this rock, the corner right here, is really rough. That is cortex. That is going to be more chalky, kind of like limestone. This would have been surrounded by limestone. The chert, which was in the middle, is more solid, and you can hear the difference. If you can't see it, you can definitely hear it. So the chert is a lot smoother. That's the part that's going to flake on you really good. The cortex is rough. And so you don't want the cortex in your point. It's not going to hold an edge and stay sharp. It's going to be difficult to flake. And you can see where it's real bumpy here compared to this here. So this whole end is cortex, and you can actually kind of see the color too. There's a red line there. Everything on this end is cortex. And so I'm going to quit toying around with this, and I'm just going to knock that off as quick as I can to get it out of the way. You still have to be careful because you can send a flake through it still, and you could potentially go too far and damage the good stuff. But you generally have to hit the stuff a little bit harder to send a flake through it. So this is getting pretty junky up in here, so I got to be careful. If I hit this wrong, I'm just going to keep adding to it. Yeah, and so that was a failed hit. I'm going to try to move this edge closer and build a new platform First I'm going to hit this platform and try to take this piece off. Alright, we're getting closer to it. There you go, that one, it crumbled, but took out a lot of that rough step and stacking we had in there. And so the old moose billet's starting to get a little bit big for the work I'm doing. I'm trying to get some more refined hits, so I'm going to move to this whitetail antler billet. So we've got a pretty good platform here to take this off. There you go, that's pretty satisfying. That's exactly what you want to see at this stage. That's how you make the piece thinner. Alright, so there you have it. So that's what happens when you miss. So I was trying to hit this platform going that way. I had an overstrike. Instead of hitting right there, I hit right there. I hit on top of this really strong platform, and the rock just couldn't take that kind of pressure. And it broke. So, got that one down pretty far. It was looking pretty good, but that's what happens. The good news is both of these will make some pretty killer arrowheads. And so the way you do that is you go around this edge, start zigzagging that, and start over basically.